How's it going, boys? And today, a little bit different kind of a video. Uh, I don't really make these kinds of videos, but just wanted to really talk about a lot of the changes that have come out since the embargo lifted and for the beta tour. Um, and if you wanted to talk about this on stream, but I haven't really been able to these last few days, so I really did want to do this, so I just thought, let's just record it and upload a video. It will be much quicker and easier that way. So, there's been so much stuff, or a lot of juicy stuff, that I've seen, and I'm like, has only just made me so much excited for the expansion. I just can't wait for it to come out. I think we got 33 days, I think, for it to release. Like, it's just not that far away. But yeah, I've looked at a lot of the new stuff, and a lot of it I haven't really seen everything there has been, mainly with the jobs, because I don't have a lot of the jobs high enough level to where I would really understand or know what the difference is, and why it's just like, oh wow, this is so cool. I can't wait to play this. Um, I will definitely, as the time goes by, get around to more of them. But overall, from what I have seen from the classes that I know, just very excited. Uh, as a Dragoon main, seeing what the changes were for Dragoon has had me very excited to play um the class when it's they're an endwalker. And just right now I just want to talk about some of the changes for them. I mean, obviously everyone knows, but I'm just gonna give my thoughts for them. um I found it interesting for well, not interesting. It's not like I wouldn't expect this, and it really all makes sense for this to happen. But now that they're putting blood of the dragon as a trait, um, I absolutely felt like, I mean, this is just a nice change, because at level 80, dude, your blood of dragon gauge is never gonna reach zero, hardly ever. It's more rare than anything could possibly happen. So this is just a nice subtle change to where you don't have to press the button anymore. Um, it does show from what I've seen, because of that, you don't glow up anymore. So um, that's a lot. That's a little bit of a loss in the aesthetic department, but it's a nice change overall. And let's see. We got action upgrades for them, mainly full thrust and chaos thrust. Got skill upgrades for them. That's cool. I'm very excited or I thought it was very cool that they did upgrade chaos thrust to look the way it did, or look the way it does now, or will look now, because it kind of looks pretty similar to I don't know if you know, but I think it's I'm not trying to remember the attack in the Nidhogg trial. The attack he does, it has a very similar name to Akmorn, but it's just called something slightly different. But he does like a flourish attacks, and chaos. The new, I think it's called like chaotic thrust or something. The upgrade of it. It kind of looks similar to like that, and I thought that was like very cool. Something that I always thought like, yo, they should definitely make a skill look like that. I think that would look very cool, and that's kind of got there. We also got a new gauge, essentially. with the scales. There's essentially two slots for them for you to do. So you can spend those 2 slots for the your new skill, a new ability. And you may get these scales from the Radiant Thrust and Draconian Fury, which is the new 4th ability in the AoE rotation. So that's nice. It's also nice that we got an extended Draconian has now an extended AoE rotation. I was thought the AoE rotation was just a little bit way too straightforward. So it's nice that we got yet another button to press. Interesting thing that I thought was also very cool was that they made you be able to switch between rotations quite easier. And I'm not exactly sure which ability it is, but once you use I think it's either, like, let's say you're using AoE rotation and you use Corthian Thrust. I think it leaves two abilities highlighted. Either you can finish the AoE with the Draconian Fury, or I think Radiant Thrust highlights instead, so you could switch over to your single target rotation, and it makes it not that much smooth transition between the combos. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it was. I do know there is a change like that. I'm not exactly sure if it's with Orphan Thrust or if it's with something else, but there is a change like that, and I think that's very cool. So there's yet another change that kind of took me by surprise. I was really not expecting this. Life Surge now has 2 pumps, 2 charges to use. I thought that was a little bit mind-blowing for me. I don't know how much this will actually change in the grand scheme of things, but I thought being able to have 2 life surges ready for you to use for your full thrust. So whenever you do first one, you do your first full thrust combo with it, and then you'll go through the disavow again, and then you'll get your next full thrust will have another life surge ready. So that's very cool. I think especially in the opener where it will change much, and then you'll have it pop up more frequent throughout an encounter per se. So that was a change I wasn't really expecting. Another change I also wasn't expecting was for them to have Spine Shiler now be 2 charges as well. Something that I didn't think of at all. To be fair, I thought Dragoon already had enough jumping abilities as it did already. But hey, they just said, oh, well, why not just be able to jump more? And I'm just like, all right, cool. Especially in charge, that's cool. You give me 2 charges, all right, I'll jump. So that's interesting. That's cool. Just having more buttons to press. That's always nice. So let's talk about the new ability, the Wormin Thrust, which is when you get the 2 scales that you got, and then you can finally expend those 2 scales for the Wormin Thrust ability. If I remember correctly from what it said, I think it essentially works like a Star Diver, where your primary target takes the biggest amount of damage, and then the rest of the enemies, I think it's a line of sight skill. So the rest of the enemies in your line of sight take less damage from the attack. But that's cool. That's also again, extending the AoE options that Dragoon has. Not only just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, but also a 5. I actually a 6, 7. Actually a lot. I think Dragoon now actually has quite a bit of AoE options. I'm not really sure compared to other classes how much that holds up to, because I don't really know a lot of the other jobs as AoEs, but I am pretty happy with the options that Dragoon now has for their AoE rotation. The ability also looks cool. It's like you pull up 2 dragon heads and then they spurl. They're like they go and like they spurl around each other and go forth. It kind of reminds me of Hanzo from Overwatch. His ult. So that's cool. I do very much like that. So here's one that did. Oh, very big thing. I completely just forgot about this. Disavow the damage buff, which I think it's called Power Surge now. The buff for the damage buff now is called Power Surge, I think. It now refreshes during when you do the AoE rotation. Thank God. That's just gonna make it just much better during I don't know trash mobs or ads in a fight or whatever. We don't have to take a moment to start our single target rotation and just to get our damage buff again and then back into the AoE. It's very nice. Should have, biggest thing I think that needed to be changes for Dragoon there was just having that awkward interruption during AoEs. So yeah, it's a very nice change. So probably one of the last things here is Lance Charge, the buff we get, or Dragoon's buff, or actually no, it's not Dragoon's buff, is it? Well, it is called Lance Charge, but anyways, the buff that used to be, I believe, gave you 15% damage increase. They made it weaker now. It's time, not time, 10. Then that's what I want to say. 10% now. But they decreased the time that you could use it again. So instead of it being 90 seconds, it's now 60 seconds. So it's every minute instead of a minute and a half. That's 30 seconds popped off. I think that's going to be quite. That'll be a change that will definitely, I think, be noticeable. And same with other buffs that Dragoon has. And I know this is a kind of universal change they've done with a lot of the classes with their buffs, that they have aligned the timings to more of that 120 and 60 seconds now. And that really got me thinking when I heard about that, because when I think about at what point in a rotation with Dragoon do the Dragon Sight and Lance Charge line up, it takes a while. It really does take a while. I think you got to go through 6 cycles, essentially, like about 6 cycles or like 6 minutes or something for it to finally line up. And if I'm correct, if I'm thinking, obviously I think someone tested this probably during the video tour, or maybe not, but we'll definitely get find out. The lineup for the buffs to be aligned now should be after just 2 cycles, because they are divisible by each other, if that makes sense. It's 120, 60 times 2, so you pop them both off, and then you get the 120-second cooldown and 60-second cooldown. Once Lance Charge comes up again, Dragon Sight is going to be at 60 seconds, and once you use Lance Charge again, they'll both be at pretty much 60 seconds. So it would take just two tries for them to finally line up, or at the 3rd attempt. So that's cool that not only not only do we get Lance Charge more frequently, we also get the buff alignment more frequently, and I think that's gonna be very nice for DPS. Very nice. Also with Battle Litany, um, they decreased the time on that too. I don't think I think it's 3 minutes now, and now it's 2 minutes, if I remember correctly. So that's cool. Overall, really, I am just very happy and excited about the Dragoon changes, and I can't wait to play them. Endwalker comes out. I was so happy with the changes that it really made me reconsider my decision of whether I want to go through the MSQ of Endwalker as a paladin. So just to play the Dragoon as for its changes now. But yeah, it's great, and I can look forward. So moving on with another class I am familiar with, at least a little bit, is Paladin. The one way to summarize Paladin is holy eels. Okay. When it comes to Paladin, I will tell you that the eels have been found. Okay. If I had to say, nearly every ability that Paladin now has just heals himself. It just heals himself. I think they made like Holy Spirit and Holy Circle now be able to it heals you now. I think potency was like 400 from what I saw on the bids about Paladin. It's not the biggest, I think, but it's still a sizable amount that definitely helps, especially when you're like saying doing trash in the dungeon, doing trash pulls. You know, you'll be spamming Holy Circle at some point, and that just kind of just adds up over time. So, you know, that's cool. There are a couple other abilities that get the healings. I think it's divine. Was it divine intervention? I'm not sure, but a couple other abilities also got self-healing items, and another one where once it like breaks or procs, I think it heals the rest of the party except you. So I mean, at this point, Paladin is just just becoming a healer, I guess. You know, you just finding the heals for everybody, I guess. But moving on, the other upgrades, I guess. Sheltron will now be upgraded to Holy Sheltron, and nice buffs with it that it comes with. It now gives you a regen or healing, and it also gives you a defense buff or mitigation of, I think, 10% total for 4 seconds, right? And it still does the blocking stuff on it. So I think, I'm not sure how big of a deal that would be for mitigating damage, but I think that sounds not a bad change. I think that will hopefully amount to something. So the Spirits Within ability also got upgraded to like Exaction or something like that. So that's cool. Wrecker Scat is no longer a timer. It's now a stack that comes with 5 stacks for you to use. So that's cool. I think that just makes it guaranteed that you'll do the 5 attacks, I think, that you do during that window. That's neat. And then we have the Confiteor, or whatever. We'll just call it Unlimited Blade Works combo. It's I believe it's a 4-part combo, starting with the one that is already on Paladin, and then you get the other 3. Which all 3 of the abilities restore MP, so that's cool, I guess. I didn't really check or look at how much MP it restores. but that's a thing. One of the abilities also gives a dot. What was it, 80 potency, I think. It gives a dot. It's an AoE dot, I think, as well, so it can apply to multiple targets. And you can't, from what I've seen, you can't stack the that dot with a single target dot that you do in the rotation, but it does stack with your other AoE rotation. Sorry for kind of being vague here. I can't remember the abilities off the top of my head, but I think people who know which ones I'm talking about. Hopefully, but yeah, you can have those two AoE rotate dots, two AoE dots up. So that's cool. And that's pretty much all that I really gathered from Paladin. Overall, I think it'll be nice. The Paladin changes, I think they're nice. I think they'll be fun to play. Especially the Unlimited Blade Works combo. That'll be pretty cool. So when it comes to job changes, I think that's pretty much all that I've really gathered for now. That I've taken notice. Obviously, everyone knows about summoner support reworks. I gotta say, for someone who really didn't really found summoner that interesting, mainly because he uses a fucking book. But anyways, the whole that you actually summon the Garuda, Ifrit, and Titan, and all those abilities and attacks that we've seen from the job action trailer, very fucking cool. And it's made me want to play Summoner once Endwalker comes out, so I will likely be doing that. Reaper looks sick as fuck. It looks very cool. I can't wait for it to try that out as well. And so does Sage. Sage I probably won't get around to instantly because I have no idea about healing. I only recently got started with healing with a white mage. It's like level 32 or something. So my healing knowledge is quite lacking, I will say. So, but it definitely does look cool, and I will definitely try it out at some point. Moving on from the jobs that changes that I want to talk about. Just the things about everything else. Music, from what we have heard so far from the media tour, the music has been god amazing. It has been godly. The Charlene music that plays is just so nice. It's so nice and nice to just hear in the background, I think. The dungeon boss themes are just gold. They're just gold. Honestly, when I got into Shadowbringers and heard the boss themes, I thought that, okay, there's nothing that will ever top this. This is just amazing. But, here comes Endwalker, and he's like, yo, what's up? What's going on, dude? Like, number one? Nah, not anymore. I am. The dungeon boss music has been just blew me away. I'll be honest, it blew me away. I also very like the dungeon that they did show, appropriately named the Tower of Zot. So that's that was amazing. Then for those who don't know, that is a straight reference to Final Fantasy IV, where at one point in the game you go up a tower that is called the Tower of Zot. So, and it also plays, I think, the same music that plays there. So that's cool. You also fight the Mage's Sisters as each boss during that dungeon. That'll be very cool. There's so many things look nice. I'm very happy, and I can't wait for it to do that when it comes out. From the zones that we have seen, I think we got 3 zones to look at, which being Charlian, the city, uh, Thavnir, and Gollum. Um, Pretty interesting choices they made. Each of them very like different settings. Like, Charlene is like the city. You have like people and a very should I say like high class society you live in. And then there's Stavnir, that was like a lot of there's a beachside or shore, with like small little pockets of like villages or towns, in a very mountainous and jungle area. Looking at the zone, it was actually very cool to look at and look at the footage that people took about through the zone. It looks so good. Um, at one point, when you're flying, you can look out into the distance and you see. Oh man, oh god, I can't remember the city, but the other big city that will be in the expansion, which is in Thavnir. You can see the gates of it, and that shot or that scenery that you can see very just kind of blew me away, because it resembles like a gate, or there are like these big structures out into the distance. There's like a little waterfall, and the structures are like covered in like moss or plants and greenish, and there's like this long bridge over like a muddy water. um it looked so cool, and it's just like, oh my god, please take me there, please. Um, Unfortunately, we'll just have to wait. And the whole zone just looked so cool. Like, it just looked very cool. I remember when I first saw it, I saw the map, how the map looked, and you can see like there's like a sort of like a line going across the map, kind of like depicting a difference in elevation, similar to how it is in Colusia. You can see that line just like in the middle of the map, and there's like a difference in elevation. I thought that the map was going to be similar to Colusia, how you wouldn't be able to go up there until like a certain point in the story, or until you're like flying, but obviously that instantly wasn't the case, because I just saw a small little hill that connected to a bridge to go up there. So it's not the case, but the zone looks very cool. I can't wait to like go through it myself. There was also Garlem, uh, that was also cool. I thought there was really nothing to look at, or not much to look at when I first saw it, but I was really glancing over the things, and until I actually looked at like a full video throughout it. Um, I think it tells a lot. It tells a lot, and I really like the I guess the design of how they're doing Garlo Mold. It's essentially a World War II destroyed or bombed like London, a bombed World War II city, and you can see all that destruction in plain view of the buildings and houses and structures and stuff like that. But then there's also an underground level, underneath it, a subway station, where you can see people taking refuge, and sort of like a base of sorts, and you can go inside the train and there are people injured or being attended to and stuff like that. Just very cool how like it just adds more to the world, and kind of like, just, like tells you how things are going on. That was all very cool. And Charlene, uh, very neat. I think it's a pretty big place, because there is a Levier, I hope I said that right, estate or mansion or big ass house, that there's a balcony you can look at, and you can like essentially see the entire place, and then you can also like go to the other side, or the opposite side of there, and you can see it all the way in the distance, right? If that was the right building I was looking at, and that was just very neat. The structures and the way the city looks, I dig it all. There's also like a very small open area with grass and trees and stuff that looked very nice. That was all very cool, and just everything is just done well. Like everything looks well, everything looks good, and you just kind of like you can't wait for you to go through that, experience it yourself. I definitely am looking forward to it. Um, so those were the zones, and now there was um a little bit of information on Sanctuary Island, where we haven't really heard a lot, but from what has been, I guess, has been said, that you'll be able to have like animals, I think, and also breed them. I don't know. I mean, I guess it will probably similar to Chocobo breeding, but you can do that essentially. But then they also said that there was a housing thing to it, where you'd be able to like, I don't know, plot your own house and stuff like that. That was very interesting. I really did not expect there to be anything like that for the Swords of the Sanctuary Island. I've heard this a lot through Leonie's interview with Yoshida. So yeah, I guess that will be a thing. I don't know how that will actually work. I'm just gonna have to like wait for them to give us more information, because we really know little about it. But I'm for one looking forward to it. I'll definitely try it out when it is out. I think it could actually be a thing I would enjoy. I don't know. We'll just have to wait for that. If it'll actually be another thousand thing in the game that you can do. We'll just have to wait and see. And last thing I want to say was they apparently have made also changes to the Trust Ais. From what a lot of people have said is that the AIs for the Trust are a lot better now. I've only done Trust like once, at like the very beginning of Shadowbringers, where they introduce you to it, and it's like, oh, let's check this out. And I never really did it again because it just goes way too fucking slow, man. It goes way too slow for me to want to do it. But apparently now that a lot of the Trust AIs actually do more, they actually, if they're put in a tank role, they actually they'll pull a lot more, do more stuff and all that. So that's very cool. I hope they are much better now, to where they're a lot more feasible for you to go through. To go through a dungeon with your Trust. I always thought it was a cool concept that you could, just go with the other characters in the game or in the story, and actually go through content with them. That was also very cool, but it's just I wasn't there for me quite yet in Shadowbringers. It's just like there's just no way I'm going to go through a dungeon and take like nearly 3 times as longer just for this. Like it's not happening for me. But hopefully that really changes in Endwalker. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, I think that's really it for the things that I wanted to talk about in Endwalker thus far. Just overall across the board, I'm just blown away yet again. I think blown away, and we've really have not even seen hardly anything. Let's be real. They've shown us very little. Only the tip of the iceberg for what Endwalker will be when it's out. I'm just very excited. I'm very looking forward to it. We have just about a month to go until its release. So yeah, I think I speak for everyone that we're all excited for it. So yeah, that'll be it here. Hopefully I can get streams underway more often. I know if from like the previous video, the diamond weapon was not defeated. It was very close, but it was just wasn't there. We'll definitely have to, go back into it and do it once and for all, and then get them out from it. So we'll have that. We'll definitely do that. We'll do that soon. Likely sometime next weekend. So I mean not weekend. Next week, since this video will probably drop either Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, W for me, everyone. Um, just have a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever it happens to be. And yeah, take care and see you guys soon. Bye bye.